Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Amirah Hall. I'm a psychic healer and a spiritual medium. I'm here to help you raise your vibration, tune into your intuition, and manifest a life you love. Today, I'm here to share with you July 2019's channeled energy message, and I want to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has been supporting me along the way. It means so much to me that you're here with me. And thanks again for commenting and leaving those thumbs up and also requesting private sessions. It's really a great pleasure for me to support you. And also stay to the end because I'm going to share with you the winner of last month's contest for soul wisdom reading. Okay? Let's get started. So as I was tuning into July's energies and the messages from Spirit, my guides were showing me this giant jellyfish moving through this water, almost like suspended animation, but an expansion and then a contraction, an expansion and a contraction. That's kind of how they move. Hidden from view, there's a much deeper level of our consciousness that we're starting to stir up, and there's a shift happening. There's a feeling of being suspended, floating. And also there's a lot that's being hidden from our view with a deeper level of our consciousness shifting. There's a lot of unpredictability happening, and don't be surprised with Mercury retrograde, some miscommunications popping up and some explosive ones at that. My sense is that things are shifting very, very slowly and they're unpredictable. Then Spirit gave me a picture of an underwater scuba diver playing a game of tic-tac-toe. You know, the game where you have the X's and the O's and you want to get all the X's or all the O's lined up. Well, the interesting thing is the diver was losing against himself. So there's a sense here that we're being blocked, or that things are distorted, or what we're trying to achieve is being blocked. And the message that Spirit's giving me is getting into alignment with yourself. That can be a bit of a challenge because the energy seems so floaty and ungrounded. You know, as currents are pushing us underwater here, it's pushing us around. And even if you're wearing scuba gear, it's not so easy to maneuver against currents. Things can feel awkward. You know, with this density, this feeling of weightlessness, and also it's a sense of limitations of being able to take certain movements in certain way. Yeah, water's fluid, but it's thick, you know, and it takes more strength and more focus, more direction, conscious direction to get to where we want to go. You know, the diver starts showing me a picture of feeding fish, and he starts chasing the fish to give him the food. And then my guide showed me, you know, if the diver just stops to hold the fish food, the fish will swarm or circulate around him like a magnet. And going after them actually pushes them away and scurries them and distorts everything. So being still, holding what it is that you desire in your heart, that's the very essence of the law of attraction. It's the vibration that you put in. The more you chase something, the more it scurries and scatters. You know, the secret is the power is within you. Then my guide showed me a picture of a rose, pretty big rose, and it was closing in on itself. And then it showed me opening and expanding, and then it contracted again. And every time it expanded, it got bigger. Spirit's explaining that, you know, there's parts of us that needs to fall away. And there's some disappointments and some things that haven't been so desirable, discouragements, setbacks. And we need to let that go. But as we spring back, we're opening up space to receive more. Spirit's also explaining that what might need to fall away or seems to disintegrate in around us is actually creating space for something that's more desirable and more beneficial for you. So in the face of these disappointments, just know that there's something bigger coming in for you. It's just around the corner. And please note that this energy and this time is very, very powerful, and it's slow moving, and it can affect us really through the end of August, maybe even into September. But something new is coming in for you. Something has to leave your life, And there's many, many changes around us. Some of them are visible and a lot are not visible. But there's a real contrast that seems to be occurring. And on one hand, some of you might be feeling like a wild fantasy and just all the twists and turns and all the excitement, whereas others of you are feeling that you need to contract and feel more safe and focused and grounded. It's going to be different for everybody out there, but generally speaking, what you thought was safe, it may not be. There's a sense of feeling out of control, and you might not want to know what to do, and you might not see what's right. There might be some times here where you have to restructure or rethink your plans, but be flexible. This is a time period to be flexible, to readdress and adapt like that jellyfish underwater. And Spirit's saying, face your fears head on. Look directly at what's you're stopping or what you fear, because that's what you're creating. What you need to do is let that go and turn it around. So that might feel in some ways as you're being forced to let go of some things, like like you're being sucked into a black hole, or that the energies of what you're letting go of is like a black hole just sucking it out of you. That can feel pretty scary, and it can feel so almost like an annihilation, like every part of you is going away. Some of us are letting go of toxins and patterns and people. And I know some of you are losing dear ones and loved ones in your lives. As you're preparing for their departure, it can feel like a black hole. And others of us are feeling like a death or a part of our old self. There's a sense of loss. And some of us are even losing the sense of time. You may not be regimented with your time enough, and some of us are not regimented enough. There's a sense, too, that there's some of us that are losing track of time, and maybe you're not aware of how regimented you are in your time schedule, or maybe you're not regimented enough. So there's a sense that if you're dreading something, that you might need to take some action, and know to take that action, even if you're dreading it, it is the right thing to do. So just know that you will feel better coming out on the other side, because you know it's the right thing to do and you're in alignment with your integrity. Part of the discomfort that some of us are feeling is healing these old wounds and being, if you're a pushover or somebody that's easily influenced by someone, you might notice that yourself having to be very strong and vocal to express yourself in this time and really setting the line in the sand. My guides are saying that, trust your intuition, and know that when it's important to be able to take some action, and other times to know and be in that ebb and flow. So there's a marriage of the two sides of us, but that is called developed action, trusting your intuition of when to take action. So this is more of an accentuated way of being and trusting that. So for some of you who are trusting yourself and trusting your intuition, this might be a time where you go a little deeper with that, or you get some help with that, and I can certainly help you with that. Spirit's also saying to, enjoy more beauty around you and take some time to enjoy the refinement, enjoy beautiful things, and maybe even your garden. The key of this time period is being able to communicate with your heart and your soul. It's a time that we're being encouraged that if you don't need something, it's time to perhaps let it go, and letting go of old situations that no longer serve you, or people. Or circumstances. What is it that you need to let go of? This process can be a bit tricky. Spirit showed me that we're going through this maze and there's some complications here. But I really, really do believe that as you let go of these things that are sticky for you or difficult to even think of letting go, you will feel so much better on the other side for having done that. So Spirit's also saying to open your eyes and see what you can take from those situations that you have to let go of. What can you learn from, and how is this all benefiting you? So make sure you realize that you're replacing it with something that's more authentic and in alignment with the true you. Now I'd like to jump in and have some fun with the cards, my soul wisdom cards. And the very first card that I pulled up here today for you, it seems like there's some hard ups and downs here. Some things are really being pronounced for you. But you're being invited to have some fun, to be playful in these times ahead, that there might be some twists and turns, and perhaps the way you perceive these shifts and the way you're changing too. So notice that Perhaps what you think is fun is no longer fun, or what you didn't think was fun is fun. There's also a shift that's happening towards your spiritual and your physical wellness. What steps are you taking to measure, and how are you nourishing yourself? What are you doing to support yourself? Then I'm looking at this ice here on the rose with the rosebuds. There's some things there, Spirit's telling me here that, there's some areas where you're stuck, that maybe you're being limited, or where you need to let go or release, melt away some of these aspects that are no longer serving you. To get in that ebb and flow, you're being challenged to take some steps, body, mind, and spirit. And with the gentleman on the upper right, it looks like you're going to be taking some steps in a whole new direction that's very different than anything you've ever done. So I'm really excited for that. Now, the second card, this is a real different energy, yet there's a similar message. The dolphin suggests, that we take that deep dive into some hidden aspects and patterns and structures. The answers are within you. Diving deep and access these new heights and cycles as we let go or destruction, so we're able to see, what no longer is serving us, and release it. Releasing traditions, perhaps, or ancestral energy that's no longer matching us. And greasing that wheel, turning into a new pattern and an about face, and to let go or turn away from those restrictions. The temple within you holds the treasures that you're seeking. And your inner guidance and your spiritual teachers are here to show you the way as you climb outside of those limiting beliefs and ideas and ways of being. And that's what I got for you for the first part of July. So, I really want you to know that I put a lot of energy and time into creating and channeling these messages for you. So if this video speaks to you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody that will resonate with it too. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss my upcoming messages. Oh, before I go, I want to announce the winner for last month's Soul Wisdom card reading. And the winner is Karen Simmons. Karen Simmons, you're a winner. And everybody else who participated, you're all winners. Thank you so much for all your comments and sharing your energy with me. I truly appreciate it. And if you'd like to schedule a private session, you can see the link below, and you can reach me at amirah@amirahhall.com. So I'll look forward to seeing you on my next video. In the meantime, have a magical month of July.